So this video is on the intro to trig function graphs. So for a basic overview of the three trig functions, so first we have sine, which is the opposite over hypotenuse. And on a unit circle, it is y over the radius. So if you think about a unit circle, it is the y value over the radius. The next one is cosine, and cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, which on the unit circle is x over r. So that is the x value down here and over the radius. And for tangent, we have opposite over adjacent. And on the unit circle, that is x over y. So we have unit circle here. It is it's y over x. So we have y, which is from this angle is opposite, and over x. So the sine graph. This graph will always start at 0. So at 0, 0 is when this graph will always start at. And from there, it goes up 1 to pi over 2. And let's just say this is 1, that's 2, and that's 0. And then from there, it comes down to pi, and then it keeps going down to 3 pi over 2, negative 1, negative 2, and then goes back up to 2 pi to create one whole circle. So this is one whole circle, and the period of this graph is 2 pi. So to make sense of this graph, the x values are basically angle measurements on the unit circle. So for example, pi over 2 right here, pi over 2 is just 90 degrees. So if we want to check this, we can just plug in sine of 90, and we get a y value of 1, which is represented on the graph. So basically, this graph represents the unit circle and the values for sine of those angles. Okay, the cosine graph always starts at 1, and it switches directions just like the sine graph every half pi. So this will start at 1 and go down at pi over 2, then go down till negative 1, and then change directions at pi and go upwards to 3 pi over 2, and then continue upwards till 2 pi. And this is one period, and it has a period of 2 pi, just like the sine graph. Okay, so for the tan graph, it's a bit different. So the tan graph, it has asymptotes at pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2. This is because if you think about it on the unit circle, at 90 degrees, which is pi over 2, there really is no x values. So, and if you remember, tan is y over x. And if there's really no, let's just think about it. If the x value is 0, and let's just say the y value is 1, 1 over 0 is undefined. so it has to be asymptote. Same with 3 pi over 2. There's just no x value, so it's undefined. So the tangent graph always starts at 0, 0. So it starts here, and it goes up towards the asymptote. So it will go up towards it like this. And then for the next point, it's at pi. So from here, the left side goes down towards the left asymptote like this, and the right side goes up towards the right side goes up towards the right asymptote. And then here, we can see that every pi we're making, it's our center of the graph, split into these sections with asymptotes. So it will be going down towards it. So if you think about it, it's true because as the tan graph, as it gets closer to pi over 2, it's increasing, and there's no value for pi over 2, and then less than pi but greater than pi over 2, the values are getting really low, and you can test this on your calculator. And then they start increasing from pi to 3 pi over 2, then repeats the cycle again. So this is the introduction to the trig function graph.